is going on? Welcome to episode 92 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, player 2, Hate Zero. What's up, man?
Yo, 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 what up, Josh? What is up, NPC fam? It's your boy, Hate Zero, your hero. Just barking, dog's barking.
You just stopped there. Stop. This might be episode 93. At this point, I give up. I just can't. I don't remember. There's
You have to keep track because we're gonna hit that 100 episode at some point.
That's true. Well, hey, if you like that music you're hearing right now, that is from On Being Human. You can find them on Spotify and YouTube. Remember, we are the unofficial Nintendo podcast, the official one. Here we go. Let's see. Nope, I can't even tell what episode it is. No, this is episode 93. What's up, everybody? 93. Okay, so professional. We're doing it live. I don't care.
It's a good year.
Yeah.
It was a good year.
Yeah, it's 93. 93. Here we go. Unofficial Nintendo podcast. The official one, you can find it on iTunes and Google Play. Nintendo Power Podcast. If you want to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/NPC. Get something like Ready Player One or Armada or Console Wars, something awesome that has to do with video games. There's a lot of them there. Check something out. audibletrial.com/NPC. Guys, you want to start your own podcast? Go to podbean.com/NPC. Sign up for free. See if it's for you. Who knows? You might be an awesome podcaster and don't even know it. But you got to try.
I bet you are. I bet you are.
I do too. I bet you are too. And if you have questions, my DMs on Twitter are open and I'm willing to help you. So, podbean.com/NPC. Lastly, the chair I'm sitting in is from OP Seat. OPSeat.com. Check out their chairs. Use coupon code N64Josh to save yourself $10. I think the sale that's going on, that's another $20 off, lasts to the end of the month, but I'm not positive. So you have to check opseat.com, coupon code N64Josh. We got some announcements.
Hey, listen!
We do this show live, twitch.tv/N64Josh, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We try to get here as fast as we can. I want to say hello to everybody. Yickum, K-Cross, Van, Wib, Resd, TV, Super Nintendad, Burpee, Magnus, Nightcrawler, Kirby, Pudding, Shellshock, Missing Link, Rust Belt Tack. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Thank you for being here with us live. We appreciate it. If you're just lurking, thank you. I appreciate it that you're here. I'm writing a book, Another Castle. It's getting close. It's getting close. I can feel it. The first draft is getting close. So we're almost there. So be on the lookout for Another Castle. It'll be here before you know it. Hey, we're giving away a $60 eShop card. Details are pinned to my Twitter profile. That's at N64Josh. There's a bunch of different ways to enter. So go check it out. That's twitter.com/N64Josh. The pinned tweet has all of your information. I have a new podcast with Nightcrawler, Smash Bros. Cast. We're going to have episode 11 up this week. Mario Kart Mondays, still a thing. I was just on vacation this last weekend. So we're streaming. I'm streaming Mario Kart, playing with viewers. Come hang out. It's a good time. 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Mondays. Saturday morning Splatoons, where we play some Splatoon together and eat some sugary cereal. It doesn't get any better than that. And then First Look Fridays start at 6 a.m. Friday mornings on my Twitch channel. And we've been looking at some nindies, some indies. This week's going to be Battle Chasers. And I think that's it. I think that's all we're going to be looking at. Who knows? I may get something else sent to me, and then we'll look at that as well. Last week I looked at the Garage and something else. Shantae. Good stuff. So there we go. Let's get into, our reviews, impressions, kind of the stuff we've been playing this last week. Sound good? So, hey.
Yeah.
How are you? What have you been playing?
Well, can I rewind? When are we going to get Nightcrawler on the Nintendo Powercast? I
Oh,
feel like the crossover needs to happen at some point.
well, I'm so glad you asked. That should have been in our announcements. Next week, we will be doing our E3 prediction show, and
Oh,
I will have a form for everybody to fill out that wants to be a part of the E3 prediction show. I'll read predictions on air. So it's going to be all about just E3 and our predictions, and he is going to join us for that. Yeah, I may need a little help, guys. Chat, I may need a little bit of help. So if somebody in the Discord wants to hit me up about trying to come up with this, I basically want to put together something that kind of resembles homework for Kirby, as she's saying in chat there, but kind of just like almost just an outline for our predictions, so that
okay.
it's everybody's kind of on the same page. So we'll get something going.
It.
We'll get a spreadsheet. There you go, a spreadsheet.
Can we do some sort of giveaway based on whoever can predict the most obscure, closest thing to reality that comes true? They win. I don't know how we would gauge the obscurity of that, but if someone says, "I predict Mario 2 is going to be remade for the Nintendo Switch," and it happens, like that should win. That's obviously not my E3 prediction, and don't let that be yours. Don't steal that from me. But if that's the case, I think we should have some sort of giveaway. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, we should give away something. Maybe we should just give away something live during the show next week.
Ooh,
We'll just do that. There'll be something. Okay. We'll do some kind of giveaway next week during the E3 prediction show, because there's just too much hype. I can't handle it. So you got to be here live. Twitch.tv/N64Josh. We'll be giving away, I don't know, maybe some eShop cards, maybe some game codes. Who knows? We'll figure it out. We'll talk. We'll talk.
All right.
So,
okay.
How about what have you been playing, man?
I've been playing some more Donkey Kong Country. It's still just as good as I and you had mentioned last week. I still have issues. I wish they would patch the HD Rumble in handheld. It's gone beyond the point of being like, oh, this is extreme, I notice it, to now it's actually annoying me, because it makes a metallic loud rattle, and I don't like it. So Nintendo, I know you're listening. You are one of our biggest followers. You guys listen religiously to us week after week. Please update that and fix it for me. It would make your hero proud. But the game is phenomenal. If you played it on Wii U and you think like, man, I could really get back into that, yes, you should. If you've never played it and you have any love for Donkey Kong, yes, you should play it. And if you just like platforming, you should also play it. So what category do you fall in that if you don't like things that are good, then stay away from it. So Van, I'm more leaning towards you. Don't get it if you don't like things that are good. But otherwise, that's about it. I've played a little bit more of what's the Metroid game? A robot named Fight.
Fight, yeah.
Played a little bit more of that. There are some power-ups that you can keep with you, so it's not like your standard roguelike. You can keep a few things with you, which is kind of an interesting element.
Yeah, for sure. So I played a lot of Garage, and this is an M-rated game. So everybody be just throwing that out there. It is it's a little on the gory side. It's a top-down shooter. I had a lot of fun with it. I had a lot of fun. I haven't played all the way through it yet, but I've sunk a significant amount of time into it. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 Power Gloves. That's what it's getting. It's getting 8 Power Gloves.
That's a high praise.
Yeah, for the $14.99 price tag, it's a lot of content, and it keeps me coming back. It's very rewarding, and yeah, it's definitely an M-rated game. Funny story, streaming that game on it's Friday morning,
Mm-hmm.
and
yeah, I saw that.
There's a loading screen just comes out of nowhere. That's just a bunch of the backsides of a bunch of random females just on a TV screen. So the pictures of that got posted in the Discord were super awesome.
Huh. And can
So-
you even be mad about people posting that content onto Discord because you kind of presented that?
No, I
so
know.
that was your own making.
Yeah, and literally it was my face right next to the backside. It was just not
Classic.
good, but a good laugh for everybody, of course. I'm like sweating, like, oh, okay, we got this, we'll be fine. So anyway, other than that, really, really enjoyed the game. Magnus says I thought the Power Gloves were out of 5. They were, but I needed a little more room because 5 is just. If you say something's a 5, then it's like, oh, so it's a perfect game. Well, no, but if you say it's a 4, then no. So we're going with out of 10 Power Gloves. There you go.
That's a lot of Power Gloves.
Yeah,
Good luck
it is.
finding 10 of those in the wild.
Right. So there we go. Really enjoyed that. Shantae, never played any of those games. Very, very impressed. I picked up the Ultimate Edition. I opened it on stream just for you guys. So, and just a heads up for everybody too. I uploaded 8 YouTube videos on Friday. All of these First Look Fridays will go up. I'm going to try to do it immediately following the show. And so you can check out, if you miss them, you can check it out on my YouTube channel. I've been posting on n64josh.com as much as I can for one person, and check out the articles. There's a lot of stuff on there. So, and we're going to keep going strong there. But those are my 2 reviews, impressions right now, Shantae and Garage. Shantae is a lot
Wait,
of
hold
fun.
on. What did you give Shantae? How many Power Gloves Shantae get?
I'm not giving it I'll give it a review next episode, like in a week.
Okay,
I want to
okay,
spend more
okay.
time with it before I give it a review. But I have a feeling it's going to be high because it immediately sucked me in, and I was really, really enjoying it. So I want to give a quick shout out to Rust Beltac for that Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate it. Okay, we have a ton of news and rumors. Oh my gosh, this week has been crazy. Let's dive into this thing. The first bit of news here is extremely good news, and that is the NES Classic is back in stock June 29th until the end of the year, and the heavens opened and choirs of angels sang. Are you pretty excited about this?
Well, I already have one, but yeah, obviously I think they should have made 16 billion of these. I think everyone who wants one should be able to get one, and I hope I understand the value in making something a collectible, but I don't appreciate them making a collectible out of something that was so important to my childhood. So I was kind of torn, like, yeah, it's kind of neat to have this rare piece of memorabilia, but at the same time, like, I want to have these and I want to give them away as gifts, and it's the NES, you know. I'm so happy that anyone who's mad they didn't get one has another chance. Hopefully this works out better than last time. And hopefully we can give one away. ...
I'm thinking so. I think we gave away at least one of the SNES Classics, so hopefully.
Yeah, those were a little easier to get our hands on. So hopefully the NES, I'm going to try to get 2, another one that I can have and just not open ever. And, you know, if I can get 2, then 1 to give away. So we'll see what happens.
Well, don't forget, you have to buy one just to get another controller.
Yeah. Did they mention if they're re-releasing controllers? Because I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it either. I can't imagine they wouldn't, especially since it only comes with one. And the moment I can take the Insignia or whatever brand controller out of my NES Classic carrying case, the happier I will be, because that thing drives me crazy. But hey, at least it has a long cord, unlike the 2-foot cord.
And yeah, that's something that still kills me. But there's workarounds. We can get extension for that. But one thing they didn't do, thankfully, that they did to the Japanese is we're getting the exact same version where the Japanese re-release has a different game and it's like gold-plated, fake gold-plated.
So I believe that's just like a limited run to celebrate. I talked about it on last week's episode a little bit, like on last Thursday's episode. It's to celebrate some 50-year anniversary of something. But have you heard otherwise that is going to be the version that they are getting? I haven't heard.
That's the only Famicom version I've seen.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess I haven't heard definitively that's the only version, but it kind of made it seem that way. Regardless, if you have one or not, you're going to want that one.
Yeah, definitely.
So if they did that to us, it's like, great, yeah, I have to get this now. Like, there's no way around that. So, yeah.
Yeah. So the NES Classics coming back June 29th. I played mine this weekend. We went on vacation with my parents, and I was like, hey, this is prime opportunity to play classic games with my dad. So the first thing we did was fired up Tecmo Bowl, and his favorite team is Minnesota. I went with Seattle. I was in pink and white. He was in purple and white. We could barely tell the difference in the teams. I'm like, I think they got the colors a little off here. What is going on?
They only had 8 bits to work with. They didn't have a huge color palette.
That's true. This is true. So, but we had a good time. And we played some Excite Bike as well. And what's funny is every time my mom hears any kind of Nintendo game, oh, I love that sound. It just takes me back. It just takes me back every single time. So,
which is funny because mothers across the world hated it 25 years ago, 30 years ago. So,
Right. Quit wasting time on that thing, kid.
Yeah.
But,
here we go again. How many times are you going to play Duck Hunt? How many are you going to play Super Mario? So
Super Mario.
Super Mario.
That's right.
My mother happens to be a Italian from New Jersey.
Oh, so it's definitely Mario.
She doesn't. I'm lying.
Oh. Okay.
Totally lying.
So, anyway, good news for everybody that doesn't have one. Make sure you pick up a second controller because you're going to want one. Make sure to get some extensions because they're extremely short. I mean, Literally, I don't know who's using that. Maybe you're dangling the the system from your television. I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on there, but you definitely want some extensions. They also sell some really cool cases for them if you plan on using them and taking them with you places. So you can check those out as well. We got Mario Tennis Aces news. I have a couple different articles up on the site you guys can check out, but we're getting a demo with online and tournaments June 1st. Yep. I know you were excited about this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
You can finally play as Waluigi.
He's not one of the playable characters in the demo, so
he might be unlockable.
And rightfully
Fingers
so.
crossed.
Yeah, let's not. The one important thing to note is there were only 2 evil characters shown through the entirety of Mario Aces. Waluigi and unfortunately Wario. So I mean, even the bad guys in story mode don't look as evil as Waluigi. So I really like what Nintendo's doing with the direction.
So
personally,
I'm pulling up that picture right now because I used it for my blog post. And what's interesting is Luigi is behind them with his racket, and you know how they look like they're metallic and their eyes are glowing?
Stone or something.
Yeah, Luigi's actually behind them holding that racket that he picked up that did whatever it did to him. So he's in the same metallic stone. Like they've all been changed due to this infinity racket. That's what we'll call it, I guess. So yeah, interesting. I was planning on looking at that picture a little closer to see if there's any other characters, but it is Waluigi, Luigi, and Wario. So
interesting.
But Kirby says he's the big cheese. So we get to June 1st. We get to do the tournament, which is basically going to be a network test for Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see if this was confirmed for the States or not, but in Japan, the top 8 players are going to be competing for I don't know if it's some kind of prizes or something, but there's Like, this tournament actually means something. It's not just a stress test. I don't know if that carried over into the States. I didn't get a chance to see that or not. But so there is kind of some cool stuff happening with this thing. As you play the demo, you can unlock up to 5 more characters. The players that are available right off the bat are Mario, Peach, Bowser, and Yoshi. So, I mean, it sounds like we're gonna get a decent taste for what this game is, and
Yeah.
being able to play online, I'm pretty excited.
I'm pumped. I think the game, from some of the videos they showed, they dived a little bit further into the story, and I'm really intrigued at the potential this story has. It doesn't look like a standard, like, oh, you're gonna play through a Mario tournament mode. You're actually like in a world going to different, not boards. But did you see the part where it's the top-down view and you're walking to different points on the map and you actually select it, and then I assume that's where these matches are taking place?
I didn't catch that while I was watching it. I did watch a
Okay.
few of the videos, but I was a little bit preoccupied while I was doing it, so I didn't get to give it my full attention. But I did notice, like, you know, actually, I take that back. The video I watched was talking about strictly talking about the adventure mode. Is that the same video you're talking about?
I don't know. I watched both of them without sound because I suspected they were both in Japanese.
Okay.
So,
So there was an English one that came out today.
oh, okay.
So I watched that one, and basically they kind of go into detail a little bit about, you're going to be, they show some of the different bosses, things like that. It looks to be like it's a fairly fleshed out adventure mode, not just something that was tacked on. And that mixed with the gameplay we already know about, this really is coming together as a full package. So I'm hoping it can deliver on what it seems like it's going to.
I don't even hope it's going to deliver. I know it's going to deliver, and my hope is it dethrones Celeste as game of the year.
Mario Tennis.
So,
is game of
Mario
the year.
Tennis game of the year. That's my hope, and I think it has the potential to do it.
Okay. All right.
It's going to beat that new Gears of War, so I'm excited.
Gears of War. That's right. Okay, so that's everything about that we know so far about Mario Tennis Aces. Can't wait to try it. It's going to be a good time. Another rumor, okay? The next 3 things that we're talking about are rumors. Okay? Rumors. Grain of salt time. There's a picture, which can be photoshopped, okay, of a GameStop
Mm-hmm.
display wall that shows Call of Duty in a Switch case. It has a small Switch logo down in the lower left, whereas Street Fighter, the display case, has it in the upper left, but then Toad, the display box, has nothing. And so, I don't know. Call of Duty. It says, I believe the date was 10/12 or 10/21. I can't remember off the top of my head. So coming out October, Call of Duty on the Switch. That's the rumor. Again, could totally be photoshopped. But what do you think about the potential of Call of Duty coming to the Switch? Remember, no story mode in Call of Duty this year. It's Black Ops 4, and there's Battle Royale mode being teased.
Yeah, so the rumor I heard, and this is just for the Call of Duty, not the Switch inclusion or not, but the rumor I heard was they're foregoing the story mode for a Battle Royale, which, capitalizing on the hype train makes total sense to me. I have heard for a while, and we've talked about it throughout the course of the last year a few times, that I think Call of Duty is coming to the Switch. I just don't know how neutered it's going to be. But we've heard one of the leaks that came out a few months ago talked about the developer who's actually doing the Call of Duty port to the Switch has history doing it. So we don't know who it is yet, but supposedly it's a well-known developer running the port. So I think it's very likely it's coming.
I, I'm feeling that way as well, but the thing that makes me hesitant is they haven't even announced anything, whereas they've already announced it for Xbox, PS4, and PC. So,
do you really need to announce Call of Duty on Xbox, PS4, and PC? I mean, that's kind of a no surprise. It's a new year. You're going to get a new Call of Duty on those 3 platforms.
oh yeah, it's like clockwork. It's like Madden.
Yeah. It might be more regular than Madden.
But I wonder if they were wondering if they could get this game onto the Switch still at that point, and that's why we haven't heard anything yet. I wonder if they've had some. I wonder if they've been able to get it to a point that they feel it's decent enough to be on the Switch. I mean, you got to remember, you're talking about a game that we've been playing at 60 frames a second, 1080p
with integrated voice chat.
Integrated voice chat,
big time party system. Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel all your struggles.
So, and I personally am not a huge Call of Duty fan, but I've bought the game every year and usually play multiplayer for a while. So I know this won't be the best place to go and play the multiplayer, but I know it's where the community is going to be playing. So I would pick
Call
it up.
of Duty is never going to be revolutionary. I mean, maybe it was at some point. Maybe it can become that again. But you know that you're going to get pretty satisfying gunplay, not realistic. It's an arcade shooter. And you're going to potentially have some fun. So the other rumor I heard, and I think I just saw it on someone's Twitter account, so this is a big grain of salt, or a really small grain. Is the grain of salt supposed to be small or large? What's the significance of the salt?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Other people say it, so I say it.
Take it with whatever shocking amount of salt you need to digest this. I heard that we're getting on the Switch just a portion of the game. So where everyone else is getting, and I don't know if this is true, but where everyone else is getting Battle Royale, standard multiplayer, all the modes, blah, 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 we're just getting Battle Royale on the Switch. Something along those lines. And if that's true, it makes total sense. They wouldn't announce it alongside the others, and they may not even call it Call of Duty Black Ops 4 or whatever this one's going to be called.
Yeah, the box art that we saw in this picture, whether it's true or not, real or not, it does show the Black Ops 4 logo.
Okay.
But again, who knows? We're going to, and I believe they said that there may be some kind of announcement this week, but we don't know. Again, there's so many rumors just flying around the web right now. The next
3 days, I heard.
Yeah, something like that. So who knows? Maybe by Thursday we'll know a little bit about Call of Duty on the Switch. Wednesday, Thursday.
Yep.
Fortnite is rumored it's rumored that it's being ported by Iron Galaxy Studios due to a job listing where they mention Fortnite and Skyrim. So that has everybody, and specifically for the Switch, like porting Fortnite and Skyrim to the Switch.
Yeah.
The other thing that I happened to notice, I'm sure somebody else did too, I didn't see anybody talking about it, was the fact that the most recent skins for Call of Duty, for Fortnite, is a paint roller, and there's paint splatter all over your avatar.
Yes.
Well, that's
correct.
That's pretty Splatoon-like, if you ask me, right? Like
or Mario Paint. I mean, any way you cut that one, that's a Nintendo throwback right there, right?
Mario Paint. I'm sure that's the first thing everybody thought, but
that's what I thought. But hey, what do I know?
So to me, it's just interesting. I can't imagine Fortnite not coming to the Switch. I mean, what's crazy is Fortnite is everywhere now. Like it's not. It is like I read an article today that there are Major League Baseball players that have to like cut themselves off because they're playing so much Fortnite right now. Like, I don't know if it's going to be healthy for humanity if this game gets onto the Switch.
Well, did you see that professional boxer who did the like Fortnite dance like over the weekend after? I don't know if he like won the fight or knocked the guy out, but afterwards he did the standard Fortnite celebration dance. It's like I personally don't understand it. I've tried it. I didn't love it. Maybe I need to get good, but it's cool. Hey, if everyone else loves it, then this is great.
Yeah, I would definitely play it if it was on the Switch, just because that's the system I play. So
yeah,
I
think it's a no-brainer. Once they brought it to the cell phones and you can play cell phone versus PS4, like obviously it doesn't look as pretty, but it works. The controls are horrible. I did download it on my phone just to try it, and it's totally playable. So if my cell phone can play it, I'm pretty sure my Nintendo Switch can play it.
Yeah, you would think so. So who knows? My guess is if we get Fortnite news, it's going to be E3, but it could be before that. We don't,
Well, what if we get it before that? Then they go silent, and at the end of the last treehouse, they say, "And Fortnite is on the eShop now."
That would be the way to do it. It could also be that the big Splatoon announcement that's coming on June 9th has to do with a crossover with Fortnite. So who knows? Like
Squid Kids in Fortnite?
Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's Battle Royale in Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
I don't even know anymore.
Hey, a Splatoon Battle Royale game would be awesome. I mean, the paint would be interesting because I don't know how they would figure out how to have all the different paint, but that would be awesome. So,
yes.
Anyway.
Smaller teams or do it team-based, who knows? So, again, it's just fun to speculate. None of this stuff is confirmed. It's rumors. We're just having a good time talking about it. So, take it with a grain of salt. Another rumor. Star Fox Grand Prix is the next game from Retro Studios. A lot of information keeps surfacing about this thing. I've seen a lot of people talking like it is confirmed. Again, we have no confirmation from Retro or Nintendo, but some pretty good sources are talking about how it is the best looking game on the Switch to date. I don't know. This is totally out of left field. Like, this is like such a Nintendo thing to do. Supposedly, this was originally going to be Diddy Kong Racing 2, which I know that's making Eric sad right now. And then the rumors are then it was like they were mixing in some F-Zero or something, and then it ended up being Star Fox, which is the thing with it is Retro hasn't worked on this IP before. So here it is. It's a racing game in the Star Fox world with boss fights and things like that. Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I'm always interested in a new good racer. Mario Kart is still, and for them to claim this is the best looking Switch game is pretty impressive because I don't appreciate how good the Switch games look until I watch someone else stream them and I have a chance to pay attention to some of the things I'm not. So like Mario Kart 8, when I'm playing it, I never think like, man, this is a pretty game. But then when I watch a stream of it and I see it and I am able to look at some of the other details, I'm like, man, this is a pretty game. So for them to say it's the prettiest game on the Switch, okay, that's really cool. But I think Star Fox is kind of lost its luster with people, so You've got the diehard fans and then everybody else. I'm kind of in the everybody else boat, so I think this would be the best way for them to get me excited about Star Fox again. I mean, if they came out with another Star Fox game, I don't know that I would be that hyped. I mean, if it came out and it was phenomenal, that's one thing, but I don't think you can sell it to me just on name alone anymore.
No, I think if they were going to release another Star Fox game, it would have to be as good as the 64 Star Fox. You would have to have some pretty decent online space battles, space and ground battles. Like it would have to be a pretty epic package, because there's just nothing but bad taste in our mouth after
Right.
so many attempts with Star Fox. It just, they haven't hit it out of the park in a while. They've tried, but they haven't been great games.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I welcome it because, again, I mean, you remember me complaining one of the early episodes, or who knows, it was probably episode 37. I think 37 was the one. So you remember me complaining in episode 37 about a lack of other racers. I wanted an F-Zero. I wanted another Diddy Kong. I wanted something else, because what are we going to race on until Mario Kart 9 comes out? Because eventually Mario Kart 8, Mario Kart Mondays won't last forever. So what's the holdover racing game?
That's a good question. And if this rumor is true, one of the things I'm not doing is writing this game off until I really get to put some time into it. Because one, I trust Retro, right? Those guys have a track record that they put out decent games. Two, it's one of those things that's like, oh, this is a game I need that I never knew I needed. And I hope that's the case. I'm probably like you, and I wish that we were seeing a Diddy Kong 2, but I don't know. There's got to be some reason. There must have been something in the gameplay that happened that they're like, somebody, if this is all true, somebody saw something, while they were visiting Retro or checking out a build, and they were like, this needs to be Star Fox. I'm guessing that's the case. They were like, no, get Diddy Kong out of here. We need Star Fox in this.
Well, the thing that excites me about the potential Star Fox Grand Prix is the amount of speed you could do with a Star Fox style kart or craft or whatever, right? Mario Kart never. I mean, 200cc feels pretty quick, right? But it never feels like you're flying through space at crazy speeds like F-Zero potentially did in the later years, not F-Zero on the Super Nintendo. So our sense of speed, I think, is something they can really capitalize on with this that you wouldn't have got from a Diddy Kong. And that's what I'm guessing is the what they saw, like, we need to change this to some sort of spacecraft type racer.
Yeah, probably the case. Vantakuru from the chat says, is the current Retro the same Retro that made the old games when Retro was at its high riding? Let's see, at its high. I'm not sure what it's supposed to say, but are they still? Do we still trust the Retro that's there? And he mentions it because, hey, I trusted the studio that made Mass Effect Andromeda, and that game tanked. So, I mean, it is a good point. The stuff I've been hearing is, yes, the game's gorgeous, that kind of stuff. Again, could all be just hearsay and lies. We don't know. The other thing is, I mean, it's only been 4 years since Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and that game is gorgeous and plays really well.
Yeah.
I mean, some people loved it, some people hated it. It's just, I mean, that's just games. So who knows? There's still a studio that I'm hopeful that they can put out.
Have they ever done a racing game before? I think this is a new thing for them, is it not?
From my understanding, they helped with Mario Kart. I believe they may have helped with
Okay.
with porting it over to the Switch.
Got it.
Don't quote me on that. They have a
Okay.
list of things they've helped with. I don't know the exact games off the top of my head, but I believe Mario Kart was on that list.
And was their first game Prime?
Their first game,
Because they weren't around for. I mean, they've been around for a while on GameCube, but they haven't been around that long, really.
I want to say that they may have been picked up to do something else, and then things
Okay.
evolved into Prime. But Kirby Geek says no, it was not Prime from what I'm seeing in chat right now. So I believe there was something else. I can't remember what it was off the
Okay.
top of my head. So
Yeah.
and she's saying I believe they were another studio first. So they may have been
That's
the kind
what
of
I
thing.
thought. And didn't they steal some of the people from Rare when Rare went the way of Microsoft? Something happened. Retro isn't just retro, right?
I believe that is the case, but I would have to do
Okay.
a little research.
Either way,
to,
doesn't matter. We
get
know our research. We run a tight ship here.
Nightcrawler says I thought they made American Rare and Retro was that studio. So they
That's what I thought. I thought some of the retro people came from Rare,
Yeah.
but I don't have any facts to back this up.
Yeah, and I mean I do know this that a lot, those people move around, right? Some of them ended up at 343 and helped out making Halo 4, and you can totally see the similarities between Metroid Prime and Halo 4. So, again, fingers crossed if this is true. Hopefully it's a game that we didn't know we needed, right? Hopefully it's a ton of fun. Mario Kart will be out of ways. This is probably going to be a nail in the coffin for F-Zero because the ships look so similar and the play style would be pretty similar. But again, who knows? If Nintendo is doing well and games are bringing in money, systems are selling, we may see an F-Zero. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure we ever see an F-Zero again, but I'm okay with that. If we get something to take its place, like if Star Fox Grand Prix does take F-Zero's place, that's fine. But I do want another fast-paced racer to come out. So I hope this rumor is true. I believe it to be true because I want it.
I believe it to be true because I want it.
Yes. Yes. That's my thought process on that.
Hey, fair enough. So the other thing, there's kind of a second part to this, is supposedly Retro is also working on a second game. Right? And apparently it's been a game that's had a pretty rough go, to the point that it was almost canceled and potentially could still be canceled. Don't know what that is. I was just reading an article on nintendolife.com. I'll try to get it into the show notes so that you guys can see it. The other thing that I saw yesterday, again from a known leaker, I believe is Marcus Sellers or something like that is his name. He said we will see Metroid Prime Trilogy on the Switch. It is happening. It will be announced at E3.
That's not shocking. But to me, that means Metroid Prime 4 is further out than we thought.
True. Yeah.
I mean, right? If it was coming out this September, I know that was never in anyone's mind, but let's say it was January, would they need to put a placeholder in there to keep our interest at that point? I wouldn't think they would do it, but
the only thing I could see happening is that possibly August, September, we see the trilogy, if this is true, and Prime takes the spot that Xenoblade took last year and still sold over 1 million units in December, 2 weeks before Christmas.
yeah. Maybe.
Don't
Maybe.
know if
I mean, that would make sense.
So possibly. I mean, I don't know, man. It's like according to, I talked about it on Thursday, according to GameStop, they had 16, I believe was the number, SKUs that were unknown titles for the Switch. So, like, what?
Yeah, that's not surprising. I mean, I've all the things we've heard is that this is going to be a huge year, right? I mean, everything from the start of the year, they keep saying like 2018 is going to be a huge year for the Switch, and we haven't heard anything. So it's like it's already 5 months in, and where is this huge year they speak of? So it has to be a huge E3. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're getting to that point right now where we're starting to see Nintendo games, like Nintendo published games, coming out every other week. You know, we had Donkey Kong, and then we're gonna have Hyrule.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Shortly after, we're gonna have it's a few weeks out, but we're gonna have Aces.
Yeah.
And I know there's some games that are sprinkled in between there. You know, like,
well, and then July has Octopath. I know it's not a first party, but it's an exclusive, so that's a big slot right there. You know,
right. Plus
whether
the Street
you
Fighter
like
games,
the game or not.
Yeah, Street Fighter, Mega Man, like there's
Mm-hmm.
it is a pretty big year. Those aren't all exclusive to the Switch, but still, I mean, I have a feeling Mega Man's there's probably going to sell the most on the Switch. Maybe not. Maybe not, but that's my gut feeling. So,
I believe that. I believe it.
whatever the second game is from Retro, maybe they worked on the ports of the trilogy, getting them ready for the Switch, getting the games to work without motion control, or adding in controller support and motion control, because you could do both on the Switch. I don't know what the case is, but yeah, it's exciting, right? It's exciting. So let's we got a couple of or just one question. I got it. It's on Twitter, and so let me pull that up here. This is from Chris. So let's jump into our questions. All right, it says, if you're taking questions for the show, any idea why some games that seem like they would have a harder time porting to the Switch actually can run smoother than others? For example, why would South Park port have so many issues while Doom plays great? What do you think about that?
Lazy programmers. Bad quality assurance, and a lack of concern. So I believe with the Doom port and the Wolfenstein port, they famously took their time. You know, they wanted to get it right, and even the Skyrim port's not perfect, but they took their time to get it right. And so Vantakuro says it's the engine scalability. I believe you are correct in some cases, but they used Snowdrop for South Park, which is that was the engine that ran Rabbids. So if that game plays phenomenally on the Switch, why would South Park not be able to? So I think a lot of it is just bad quality assurance, bad port, you know. Junk in, junk out, as my mom used to say.
Yeah, I mean, I believe with Doom, the company behind it, was that Iron Galaxy as well? I want to say it was. It may not have been, though. It may have been that the name escapes me. The other company that did Rocket League and stuff, I think, did the same.
Yes.
I can't think of it. I think it starts with a P, but I can't remember the name. I'm wondering if they, you know, they're like, hey, panic button. There it is. Thank you, Shell Shock.
Yes.
They had something to prove, right? They were like, hey, we can make these games work. Was South Park done in-house? And was it a rush job? Was it, I don't know, maybe maybe like you said, maybe there was laziness. Maybe they just didn't catch things. Maybe they thought, maybe they had this good enough attitude, and we'll patch it later. You know.
Yeah.
I,
Well, yeah, I don't know if it was done in-house. I'm not sure. And maybe part of it's unknown. This is Nintendo has not been famously easy to release patches for, right? A lot of companies complain, like, we submitted the update to Nintendo weeks ago. We haven't heard anything. Ubisoft has came back and said, we know about the issues with South Park. We're working on it. Maybe to not lose face, they are just saying that, but we don't know if it's been submitted and waiting on Nintendo. There's variables, but at the end of the day, these are things that should have been caught at the production line, right? Before the game was released, your QA guys who unfortunately have to play these games for 8 hours a day, every day, just trying to find bugs and ways to break the game. They either missed it or they caught it and they said, yeah, this isn't a big enough thing to stop production, so go ahead and pump it out and we'll note it and we'll fix it when we can.
Yeah, and it's likely that is the case. But for me, end of the day,
yeah,
these third parties are great. I'm glad we can get these kind of games on the Switch. Mario plus Rabbids, Hyrule Warriors, Fire Emblem Warriors, that's the stuff that I'm more interested in seeing. That where Nintendo just lets other companies use their IP. I believe it was the makers of the president of oh my gosh, the name just escaped me. The guys that made Hyrule Warriors said he wants a Mario game. Koei Tepco, I believe it is. He wants a chance at a Mario game.
Wow.
What do you see, Wario or Mario Warriors? I don't see that being the case. But just to, he's obviously got some ideas. So it's
right.
kind of like, hey, take that Ubisoft approach and put something together and pitch it. You know what I mean? It's one thing just to say it, but do something about that. Because who knows? We could end up seeing another killer Mario title. So.
Can I bring up a dead horse that I'd like to beat?
Oh, does it involve voice and chatting?
No, now it might. I still believe in my heart that some of these issues. So I've played South Park. I haven't ran into any of these issues. Yeah, the game loads a little slower for me than the Xbox One. I still believe there is a huge issue with differences in SD cards that people are using. I truly believe this is part of the problem, and I if I had unlimited means, I would test this theory. But I believe that is some of the issues we're running into.
The different speeds of the SD cards.
The read and write speeds will totally alter. If you program a game to operate under certain conditions and you have a wide variable, what do you expect is going to happen?
Right. Yeah, it's a problem for sure, especially when, you have somebody on a budget that's like, hey, I can get this big SD card for this price. I mean, we heard some horror stories just from on IGN where they bought these big SD cards that came out of phones, and they were no good. Some wouldn't work at all. Some were slow.
Well, and if you buy a non-name brand, the variable in just the SD cards themselves, you can buy 4 of them. They're all the same 128 gig, right? But if they're not a huge brand, all of them behave differently. Mm-hmm. So it's things to consider before we burn Nintendo. I'm all about burning Nintendo when I know for a fact they're wrong, but this is a variable that they can't control, and I can't just discredit because I think there's something there.
Well, and the way they could control it is selling an SD card, and then they do that, and they up the price so much that
Well, you got to pay to put Mario on the box, right?
To put Link on the cardboard. Now you're gonna charge an extra $30. Like, I don't know. So that's to me is a very strange. I mean, sure, there's extra money there, but like I looked at that and went, I can get that same card
Yeah.
for much less. So.
And the card they were selling wasn't even top of the line. To be completely honest, it was like middle of the pack. You can get a higher performing card for the same price because of the markup they had on there. So I was kind of baffled with that decision as well. But
and there's sales all the time on SD cards. I saw today that there was even you could get like a 400 gig, like SanDisk or whatever. You know, I didn't see the price, but it was like. Everything was on sale today on Amazon. Might still be the case. Go check and maybe you can get a good deal.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Let's slide down this flagpole and put a bow on this thing. Where can we find you, dude?
You can find me on Twitter. I do want to throw a negative shout out there. They announced NBA Playgrounds 2. If you are like me and you bought NBA Playgrounds before they released the patch that was supposed to fix the game and did not, you are promised a copy of Shaq Fu. They have gone dark on us. Go tweet at Saber Interactive and find out what the heck is going on with our free copy of a game. I'm kind of upset that they're offering another broken game to me, and I don't know that it's broken, but I don't know that they're offering another game to us before the game that was promised as an apology for the first broken game. I think it's horrible. Don't buy their products. Get the free product from them. Never play it. Make sure to take as much money from them. Let's bankrupt them. Woo! Hate Zero with an X. At Hate Zero. Follow me.
To the dude that just ranted about Shaq Fu. I tip my hat to you, good sir. Oh my goodness. All right, guys, you're going to follow me on Twitter at N64Josh. Remember, we have that contest going, the pin tweet. If you want to be able to enter to win a $60 eShop card, the drawing is June 1st. It'll be here before you know it. NPC is on Twitter, the NPowerCast. You can follow us there. Smash Bros. Cast records live Thursday nights, 10 p.m. Pacific. I know it's late. That may change here soon. I also record on Thursdays, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, twitch.tv. I try to get in, around that time so you can come hang out then for the NPC Mini. Hey, if you want to email us, npc@n64josh.com. If you have a question, a comment, concerns, something, a question for the show that you want us to read and answer, npc@n64josh.com. Remember, you want to help support this show, audibletrial.com/npc. Get a free book from Audible. Pick up a chair from opc.com. Use coupon code N64Josh. I have a Patreon that I do an exclusive show each month for just $1. You can get involved that way or get it. Also, there's many tiers. Check it out, patreon.com/N64Josh. We have t-shirts, n64josh.com/store. Most importantly, this is important, join the Discord. Come hang out with us. If you don't have people to talk games with in your life and you feel lonely, whatever, come hang out. It's a safe place. We love games. We have a good time there. n64josh.com/Discord. Lastly, rate and review on iTunes. We'd really appreciate it, and we'll see you later.